Divulgence. Racing across the barren landscape, nothing but orange sand could be seen, desolate and empty. "We are approaching the destination," the pilot called out. Slowly, the craft descended and dropped its rear ramp. Alert, we all disembarked. "Clear! Clear! Clear!" Several of the Marines shouted, securing their victors.
"I don't see anything,"
another muttered.
"I'm not picking up anything on my scanners,"
Andrum said confusingly. Turning towards the tech marine. "Did you recite an extra prayer?" I laughed while striding into the area. Andrum shot me a look of disapproval. He clearly wanted a huge discovery. The sand was soft and gave a bit under my weight. Took some extra effort to walk in that terrain. "Shall I report our findings?" the transport pilot asked. "Yes, but let Andrum send the message," I answered, and began laughing through my vox. When at that very moment the sand gave way, and I fell into a deep, bottomless pit. Down, down, down I fell. Do you know what it sounds like when a dreadnought falls hundreds of feet and crashes into metal, Lieutenant Palmiro? I inquired. Palmiro shook his head. Neither do I. Blacked out from the fall. Looking down at my mechanical legs. I came to see Andrum and the others standing around me in prayer and shouting my name. Weakly, I muttered, "Did you say an extra prayer?" Andrum, in both frustration and amusement, kicked me.
"Stand if you can. We have found our prize."
A light from the tech marine's shoulder illuminated the hole above and the surrounding area. Apparently, I fell through the bulkhead of a ship, an enormous cargo transport. Based on the design and what we were able to discover, the vessel was from the Dark Age of Man, when the planet Colandro was still a colonial planet. Walking with a slight lag in my leg due to the fall, we made our way cautiously through the labyrinth of a ship. Besides a layer of orange dust on every surface, the ship seemed intact, most likely buried by the winds of time. Traversing the ship was not difficult. A small power reading was emanating from the control center on board. Upon arrival, Andrum worked anxiously on the ship's mainframe computer, inputting the codes that was intertwined in the location data. Suddenly, the computer flashed to life, then sparked and powered down.
"No! No!"
In a panicked frenzy, he dove into some of his gear, looking for incense and oils. Praying with all his worth.
"Nos sumus filiae tui, et piscolarium, semita machina, scientiam potissimum, agimus, quoniam donum genere aeternam. Nos sumus filiae tui, et piscolarium semita machina, scientiam potissimum, agimus, quoniam donum genere aeternam."
Incognito. "Well, what happened?" Palmiro insisted, leaning in with much excitement. "That's it, I'm afraid. The systems never returned and nothing was hidden on board." Looking down, I could tell Palmiro was unsatisfied with the results. Trust me, no one was more upset and disappointed than Tech Marine Andrum. The armory had a few jokes and jabs upon our return, for Andrum led us on this adventure, and I for falling into a hole.
"Lieutenant," Captain Dario exclaimed, "it's time for our approach into the system. Ensure your squads are prepared and equipment checked." "Yes, Captain." Palmiro saluted, then ran off. Before leaving the room, he took one look back at the cargo bay, then prepared his duties.
"Captain?"
I acknowledged and turned towards him.
"He is young, and will face many more battles."
"Aye. Is there anything you need, Brother Valdric?"
"No, Captain. I shall just take a few moments to be at rest before the noise starts."
"Very well. I shall take my leave then, brother." As Captain Dario departed the room, Kael launched off my shoulder and flew just in front of my optic sensors. I know, my friend, thinking to myself, he is too young to know. The machine spirit had returned to the ship's computer. Flickering to life, the Techmarine quickly examined the information with a gasp and hesitation. He pressed a button, illuminating the table to its left. A silhouette appeared, taking the shape of a female. It was an STC. Excitement and the utmost reverence were used, and in return, it greeted us.
"Welcome, sons of
Sworn to secrecy by our chapter master. We have not spoken a word to anyone else. Reports falsified, and the STC is kept. Hidden for our research. Only the chapter master, and a select few, knows where."